Hi class, today we are going over the first lesson in Scratch. So if you open up your workbooks that you have to page 22, you'll get started on the first game, I guess, that you'll build, which is called Star Hunter. So to get started with that, you want to click on Create up here at the top, and this allows you to take you to the brand new layout that you'll be in so that you can build your game. So let this load. Okay, so on the left hand side you see what is called your stage with the backdrop, and this is where your game will be played, and then on the right hand side is your area where you do all of your building of basically your blocks or your scripts, what they call them. So step 1, start Scratch and choose either Create or New Project. You'll see the screen like the one below. With the cat sprite in place, in the middle is a set of blue instruction blocks. Okay, so exactly what we see right here. I'm going to do what they said and rename my project to Star Hunter. Go ahead and do that as well if you would like. Okay. Basically all you are doing is following each step by step. So we'll program the cat to move wherever the player moves. The computer mouse, click on the Go To Mouse Pointer block and drag it to the right part of the screen, the scripts area. Okay, so this dark space over here, this is where we're going to be dragging and dropping our blocks. Okay, so if you look at block 3, or step 3, it says you want to find the yellow control button that says Forever block, and then put that around the Go To Mouse Pointer. So first, since I'm on the blue motion, I'm going to find the Go To Mouse Pointer right here, drag that and drop it wherever you would like, and then I'm going to go to my control block and find the Forever. Now notice here's a Forever, and that's the only one. So drop and drag that, and notice how it highlights to go around the Go To Mouse Pointer. That is what we want it to do. Okay. On to step 4. Drag it to the right and drop it over the blue block. It'll wrap around like this, which we just did. Step 5. Next, select the brown events button. Look for a block with a green flag and drag it to the right and add it to the top of your script. Read through the script and think about what each block does. So, events, when the green flag is clicked, I can start. So basically, if I want to think about this script out loud, I'm thinking, when I click on this green flag, these things are going to start. So my mouse pointer basically turns into this cat over here that you see, and it does that forever, the whole game that I do. So now I'm going to try and see if it actually works. So my green flag is right here, and let's see if the mouse goes exactly to where my mouse is pointed to. There we go. The cat is basically glued to my mouse, so I am able to do the game as they want it to. So the red button means stop, so go ahead and click stop. You can drag your cat back into the middle of your stage area, and now we can move forward to the next step. Okay. Okay, next step is going to be setting the scene. Okay, over on the left hand side where you see your stage, you'll see something that says new backdrop. Okay, so I'm going to click on the little icon that looks like a mountain view. Click on that, and you're brought to the backdrop library. From here, I want to find the backdrop that they wanted me to find, which says Underwater 2. Now, when you're looking for scripts, you can go by category or a theme. So I already know I'm underwater, so I will go to the theme Underwater. Here are all my underwater views, and I need to find the one that has the number 2. Select, click OK, and you will now have a new backdrop. Once it saves, you'll see you are all set. So now your cat moves in the underwater backdrop area. Okay. The next thing I want to do is add some sound. So now every time that my cat moves around, we're going to hear a bubble sound. So in order to do that, I need to first make sure my cat is highlighted. When I say highlighted, that means that there's a blue line around the sprite, okay, or our character. So go up to my sounds button here, and right here, choose sound from library. I want to go here, and I want to find the icon that says bubbles. Okay, I can preview the sound by clicking on the little circle with the triangle to make sure that that is the sound that I want and to make sure that it makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to look for bubbles. You'll notice when you go to the sound library, again, you have a category list that you can select through, or you can select just by going in alphabetical order. So I know B is at the beginning, and here are bubbles. So if I select that, I'm going to click play, so I make sure that it makes the bubble sound. And hopefully you can hear the bubbles in the background. I know that that works, so I'll click OK. Now, bubbles has been added to my sound library so that I can use it in a script for my sprite. So, next step, I want to add a new script for my cat so that he plays a sound every time that he moves. Okay, so follow what step 12 does, which says make a new script so that it plays sound until done. Okay, it has a forever block, meaning that it continuously goes, and then I have to make sure that I have my when green flag is clicked so that when I click on that, it begins. Okay, so go ahead and make your new script. It should look something like this. And remember, you're following exactly what you see in your workbook. Now again, remember that you want to find the one that says until done. Okay, so here are both of my scripts. And let's try out and see if when I move around my mouse, if my cat now becomes a bubble machine. And you can hear the bubble sound that is made every time that I'm moving my mouse. So we did that correct. Good job. Okay, just to clarify, these control buttons, the yellow blocks that you see, these are called loops. Okay, and a loop is a section of a code that repeats over and over. So when you see the forever block, that creates a loop that carries on forever. But other types of loops might repeat an action as a fixed number of times, like it might only have like 2 or 3 times that it's done. Okay, but loops are very common in all of our computer programming steps. So when you look at the control sections here, okay, like the repeat how many times or forever, those just mean that it's a continuous time until whenever. Okay, it could be 5 times, it could be the whole game. Okay, so that is something that we will be using a lot. Okay, now in Star Hunter, we need an enemy in our game. Okay, so to make things more interesting, we're going to add an octopus with a deadly sting. The octopus will patrol the stage, moving left and right, and the player will have to keep out of its way or the game is over. Okay, so we want to add a second sprite or another character to our project. So click on the icon shown below to open up the sprite library, which is right here. So the little guy that looks like an alien, go ahead and click on him. And again, just like my stage area and my sounds area, I have areas that I can categorize my sprite. It could be in any of these categories. It could go by a theme, or it could go by a type. Okay, now if you are looking for a specific thing, which they will always give you, for example, an octopus, I know that an octopus is underwater or an animal. Okay, so let's try animals this time. Notice how many animals you see in this. Now, if I would have gone a little bit more to underwater, watch how many it brings it down just because it makes it so less of a population. Okay, so you really want to try and go by these themes because you'll be able to find your sprite that you're looking for much easier. So I'm going to click on my octopus, click OK, and you will see he is now in the backdrop area with my cat. Okay, now we need to add a script to the octopus so that he moves around like we stated. Okay, so make sure we have our octopus selected. This means that this set of scripts is going to move the octopus. So I need to find the forever loop, which means that it's going to repeat itself. I'm finding blocks that say move blank steps and if on edge bounce. So that means it's going to be moving a certain amount of times. When it hits these edges of our stage, it'll turn back around, okay, and it will do that continuously when we click on the green flag up here. So follow step 14 and make your script look just like so. Okay, it should look something like this. When green flag clicked, your forever loop, move 10 steps, if on edge, bounce. Okay, now throughout the lessons, you can always change when you see a number here because we will eventually decrease this number, and all you have to do is double click that and highlight it. Okay, but for the sake right now, we are going to keep it at 10. Okay, so now we're going to try it out and see whenever he moves, he should be moving left and right forever, and he hits these sides or the edge, he should be turning backwards to the other side. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, good deal. The octopus is moving back and forth. The only problem is, do you notice what he's doing as he's moving back and forth? Okay, he was flipping upside down. Okay, now an octopus normally would not flip upside down. Okay, but we can fix this by changing the way that the sprite turns around when it changes direction. Okay, so highlight your sprite. He's already highlighted. Now this little blue eye, this is going to help give a little more setting to the octopus so that we can change just a couple of things with what he's actually doing. So if I click on the eye, notice this rotation style. Okay, this loop means that he turns upside down. I want him to stay right side up. So this middle, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. See how the little arrows are on here and it's a straight line? If I click that, that's going to make him stay right side up and he's going to patrol the way that we want him to. So I'll try this again. Okay, and notice how your octopus should be going exactly like so. Okay, and if he's doing that, that means that he should be all set. Okay. Okay, so now we have our enemy and we have our main sprite or character. Now we need to make what's called a collision. Okay, so far the octopus and the cat can move through each other without anything happening. We want this to actually be a challenge, so we need to add a script to make them stop moving if they ever collide or touch. Okay, so a collision detects a very important, collision detection is very important in these computer games. Okay, we want to make sure that something is happening every time they collide, otherwise the game will be pretty boring. Okay, so I need to highlight my octopus again. He's highlighted. Now, I need to add a couple new blocks. So I want to drag the yellow if then block, which is from your control up here. So find if then. Now you'll see there are two of them. Okay, if you look back in your book, you want the one that just says if then. It doesn't have an else. Okay, so click on if then, drag that over to your open area, and we need to add in this little triangle box thing here, we need to add something about touching the cat, what happens to if he touches the cat. So find the touching block. Now, to get this blue block into this space right here, you want to hover this right over it and see how it lights up. Go ahead and drop it, and it drops it right into there. Now, this little drop down arrow, click on here, and I need to find Sprite 1, since he is my cat. And we have to add this now. Oops, I'm sorry, not yet. We need to say that he stops every time he touches the cat. Okay, so the game basically stops for both characters once that happens. Okay, now we need to add this if-then block to the script that I've already built, which is this right up here, my original script. Okay,